Alright, welcome back. Yeah, it still feels a bit strange coming back from the dev clash and then just streaming more EU4. But this is different. This is Montenegro. This is Big Blue Bloc. This is not PC enough for such other streams. Okay, what just happened? We tore the Ottomans a new one. There were a lot of them. They just kept coming back. However, we were able to defeat them soundly in a holy war. We actually got the full plus 40 from battles and taking war score from it. And a lot of it was how we held around the Circassian and Crimean regions. We beat those buggers back time and time again. And what did we take for our rewards? We decided to liberate Greece. Greece, you might argue, is not part of the Soviet bloc, but my counter argument is, I say we have it, I say we're keeping it. That's a pretty solid argument in my book. We'll see how things go late game, but for now, I need the power, and I need the Ottomans to not have the power. So what's happening? Well, first of all, we took this province, which I'm pretty sure is rightful Wallachian land. I mean, they have the claim on it, so straight away, let's make sure that they get the province. Tem-i Sfar, it's all yours. They can keep the fort, that might be handy. I'm also going to help him with his conversions, because Wallachia, if you may notice, gets quite a lot of revolts. I want to have their high development provinces seen to. I don't care so much about this other stuff, but you know, the forts and their capital, that should certainly be their state religion. Then I'll go back to fixing my own stuff. Otherwise, what do we have? Quite a bit of land. None of this I'm going to give away. I mean, Albania only gets these 3 provinces when we do magic them into existence. And Bulgaria is going to have a whole bunch of this. I am really on the fence about what to do with Burgas, but I think it's going to be a whole lot easier if we just pull the trigger. Bang. Welcome, Bulgaria. You will be Orthodox, you will be my subject, and I am going to make you a march straight away. There we go. Everybody's happy, I hope. They've got a lot of cores that they need back. However, much as they want it, they will not get Silistria. That is rightful Romanian land, and Wallachia has done a whole lot more for us than Bulgaria has. All Bulgaria has done is bolster Ottoman strength from day one. Cheers, Borum. I did enjoy the session today, although it feels a bit odd having nobody there. Right. We beat the Ottomans, but it came at a huge cost. We dropped Timurids as an ally. And to make matters worse, Timurids are mutually improving relations with the Ottomans, and they are mutually friendly. I'm going to go out on a claim here that once they wrap up their war against Multan, Timurids are going to ally Ottomans. They have... Does espionage give an extra diplomatic slot? It does not. So maybe, just maybe, the Timurids won't have a diplomatic slot for Ottomans. They tend not to go over their slots for AIs. The Ottomans, on the other hand, they've got 0 free slots, and unless they've got something, they don't appear to. No, they have influence ideas. So the Ottomans may get Timmy. I hope to hell that they do not, but it's very possible that they could. Preemptive strike against Timmy. So the thing about Timmy is that he's pretty much as strong as the Ottomans. 264,000, massive force limit. In fact, yeah, I'd say they're roughly on par. The Timurids would, the Ottomans would win because of Ottoman advantage in that, but still, having the Timurids as an enemy is a ghastly bad thing for me. So what are we going to do about that? I need some of Timurid's allies to be my allies so that Timmy don't feel the need to declare war on me. That means Sind and Malwa, I want them both as my friends. Let's free up some of our diplomats because I don't have such a problem with aggressive expansion anymore. Let's make sure that Malwa have as high opinion of me as possible. Let's do the same for Sind and try to get them both as our friends, because then if Timmy attacks me, they're going to be attacked from the sides from some fairly hefty Indians, and if everything looks really bad, I could just sell out Sind. And I wouldn't have a problem doing that because it would break Timmy and Sind up in the long run. At least that's my hope. What else is what else? I should have taken this tech before I spat out Bulgaria, but on the other hand, I have cores to do. I'm not going to reduce war exhaustion because I want to keep that absolutism, and I don't think I have much in the way of provinces that I want to reduce autonomy in. There are some, but I'm not really sure it's worth the fractions of autonomy that they, of absolutism that they give. So let's just go yes, 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 and absolutely Tsarograd. I'm going to convert it. I'm going to core it, and I'm going to convert it. Probably far too expensive to change culture in. However, about changing culture, I feel like the question of blah 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 Soviets would do this comes up far too often. So we need to get back into the proud Serbian spirit of things. I'm just going to sow the seeds right now, but let us grab Serbian culture and inject it into a few locations where it's the cheapest, because we can spread it from these cheap locations in the future. Like, it's a good place to do it here, because then I can put it on everywhere else in the Caspian Sea. Also gives us an opportunity to wipe out some of these filthy Tatars. There's not a huge incentive to put you down there. Where else is relatively cheap but spreads out to a lot of places. Serbian culture needs to go where the poor are, says Morgan. That's kind of what's happening here. A good way to look at it is by accepted cultures, because, you know, Muscovite and Novgorod is ours for the long run. Same with Kazakhs. It was a nice big culture group. But these other awful individuals, they're going to have to be changed. Maybe not today, and maybe not tomorrow. But the thing is, if I sow the seeds of Serbian culture, it'll be easier to spread later on because it's cheaper when it is adjacent. You get that lovely adjacency bonus. So I'm going to slam it down in just a few places. I want to do it later on when it's a lot cheaper to do en masse. Do love the word mass. There we go, that's enough dip being spent for one day. I am still focusing on dip, I think. It's just so that I can get my tech up to speed. But there we go. With that, I'll get adjacency bonus later on, and to make matters even better, once we have the Enlightenment embraced, we'll have cheaper culture conversion. And on top of that, I plan on taking influence, which has a religious ideas thing. Come on, Jake. They're called policies. Culture conversion cost reduction with cultural unity. So I'm thinking that we need to spread that Serbian pride further and wider. Jake, I think in honor of the Soviet efforts during the Ocarina of Time crowd control, you should also commit some light genocide of the Russian culture and make them proud, sir. I would like to, but I'm certainly not made of that kind of monarch point. I should also nestle it down here. If I put it in Wendon, it'll be easier to spread to a lot of provinces here. So there we go. That's probably more than I ever should have spent, but we've spent it. Okay, what else needs to be done? I need to enter full on austerity mode. I have spent way too much money. So how's that going to go down? What is up with this weird army? Let's split off a bunch of you. I wanted my armies to be like 24 and 10, I guess. (24 and 10). So I'll have you go over there. I'll have you go further up here because those rebels got to be dealt with. And you guys just chill out for now. Whoa, what the heck was that? Austria still wants to marry me. I still don't want to marry Austria. Austria is still a good ally to have around. They really pulled their weight against the Ottomans, and because they're so much weaker than me, I enjoy a lot of favours with them. I'm not going to spend them on increasing trust just yet. If trust is below 50, you should let it mellow out, because it will trend towards 50, even with your most hated enemies. Of course, if they are not your allies, they will also trend down to 50. I lost a lot of trust with my allies, because I dumpstered Timurids. There we go. Converting cultures is still not a good idea in the game. It's very, very rarely worth the cost. But I want to, and so it is done. Okay, Timmy is pieced out with whoever. Multan, there's not a lot left in Multan. It's very likely that Timmy and Ottomans are about to ally. The best thing I can hope for is that Timmy's ruler dies young, and that this guy, who has a 0 in dip, ends up being a diplomat and doesn't want all that land of mine. That's what I can hope for. That was a subtle reminder to check on my estates here. I would quite like some dosh, my friend. I think I'd like a lot of dosh, because my dosh situation could be a lot better. I know the burgers don't like me for this ever, but too bad. Also, I don't need all of these. I don't need all of these admirals. Hell, I don't need any of these admirals, but let's keep one just in case. The clergy could give me admin, and I always want admin. I'm even going to lean on them to get that extra patriarch authority. And I don't need an inquisitor. I really don't need an inquisitor. Unrest guy is quite nice, but he's also expensive. But I would like all the admin support that I can get right about now. Rising Patriarch Authority, it is pretty good. If I could just get a bit more out of you. There we go, I want that. 150 admin. Clunk. Forget the Cossacks. And the nobility are not happy. Do you even have a navy? I have 21 ships here. And they were set up for the explicit purpose of privateering Constantinople, which is what they're getting right back to. Now, I doubt I have a lot of power in Constantinople, so collecting from there is probably not a top priority for me. It's probably worse than the things I do right now. Man, Kiev, I barely take anything away from Kiev, and I put it up to Novgorod, but I don't even get a lot of it. Let's experiment with collecting here with our Kievan trader, but I think it's very unlikely that that's going to do much for me. Oh, goodbye, sailors. Huge downside, right? Sugar prices going up, lovely. Now we're getting those cores done. I can't think of any wars that I want to shove myself into right now. There's no pressing need to slaughter the Danes, although it's always good to have hobbies. There's not a lot going on there. What I should try to do really is get myself diplomatically entrenched so that the dire combination of Timurids and Ottomans do not come knocking at me. Because that would be awful, just truly awful. Well, the Ottomans aren't giving up on their whole claiming operation. Let's cut back on these forts. I don't need them active right now. There's something to be said for conquering Armenia right now. It's a province just sitting there. I will need this area down the line. And the Ottomans seem to be completely surrounding it right now. I wonder if I could beat them to the punch. Let's get Fernari over there, he's pretty fast. But I really want to stop paying my troops because I'm hemorrhaging money here. Ottomans have revoked their guarantee on Mazandaran. That frees up another diplomatic relation for them. It does give me a free pass to attack Mazandaran, but there's no reason for me to do so. The land is not destined to be my land. Jake build forts along Turkmen and Timmy's borders? No. I have the two forts that I particularly care about. The rest, you know, if they break through these, more forts might help, but it's not worth the investment in my view right now. Yeah, maybe I should gun this guy down before the Ottomans have their way with him. There's Karakyunlu, who will probably give me a hard time, but I'd rather have this province than let the Ottomans have it, even if it is Coptic. Besides, if it revolts, they'll go straight into the Ottoman lands, so let's just... Oh man, I should not be pulling myself into other wars while I've got all this war exhaustion to power through as well. But I similarly don't want the Ottomans to just take this province. I'm not in a position to solo the Ottomans right now. What do I do? Maybe it's no big deal if I just let the Ottomans have that, but it still strengthens them and anti-strengthens me. Screw it, let's just take it. Karakyunlu are not important in any way in all of this. I mean, okay, the Ottomans say they don't want the province, so maybe they're just walking around here for giggles. That said, though, it's awfully suspicious how they're piling. No, right, we just finished up the war, so he's probably just bringing his units back. There's probably nothing to worry about. But I have my eye on the Ottomans, so... Alright, well, we'll take our time. We can build up a spy network and claim it and get it as cheaply as possible. Right, so Bulgaria, I brought you into this world. Never forget that I can take you right back out of it. We're not going to make marriage, but I am going to improve my relations as best I can with you. We stopped trying to improve relations with Malwa. I think we should maintain one, and in the spirit of getting an alliance with them, probably send a scornful insult to the likes of Delhi. Delhi are no longer allied with the Ottomans. They were probably forced to break up, but they've maintained the royal marriage. I hope they get it back, because that puts Timmy and Ottomans at each other's throats, rather than allying each other. With that in mind, I'm going to send a scathing insult to Delhi, because that'll make Malwa like me a bit more, unless there's somebody that both Malwa and Sindh hate. Well, they both hate Bahmanis, so I can get both of them liking me a bit more with that, Malwa and Sindh. Soon all your treasures will be ours, including that preposterous turquoise chair. Sure, with a bit of luck, Malwa will turn friendly because we've got such high relations. But they also might not, so I'm not going to bet on that. Not going to bet on it. There we go, that's you taken care of. Which means I don't have to pay my army anymore. I mean, sure, people are going to rise up, but I can pay my army when that comes to pass. Because I just need to save some dosh here. Get down to Astrakhan in time for that revolt. And then there are you guys. Too many revolts hanging around here. Alamuli and Yaik and Nogai. Did I reduce autonomy on these places? Yeah, I did. Okay, so the autonomy reduction that I did before is going to bite me in the rear end. Jake, why are you so poor? Low development land, lots of low development land, large army proportional. I haven't built buildings. I mean, take your pick. We are not a wealthy nation. Oh, but the worst thing is we're not making money off a trade because we don't have Novgorod tied down. Kazakh isn't worth a lot. Kiev is being filtered away. What are we making here? 1.44 ducats in Montenegro, and we even privateered the place. I think I made more money just siphoning out of Kiev. But the way it moves forward, at least it benefits my allies. Ottomans are really losing their allies here. They've only got Naples and Ossa, which makes it all the more worrying because I think Timmy are going to go for it. Timmy are also improving mutually with my ally, the Commonwealth. What could it mean? We'll actually get improved relations bonus because that's helpful in what we're doing right now. There we go, Wallachia. Have some proper religion. Wonder if I should convert any more of his lands or if it's not even worth it. I'd rather focus on my own right now. Heavens knows I got my problems here. Like, do I want to convert gold again? Not really. I don't want to pay over the odds here. What I want to deal with are these Protestants that I've integrated so many of. Then again, I also don't want revolts around here. Where are these Tengris? Ah, yes, I just brought in all these Tengris from Russian lands. Well, whatever, let's just plow through them. So how about that friendly relationship, Malwa? Doesn't look like it, but I'll tell you that I'm friendly with you. Might take a bit more to get that, especially since we have the distance between borders thing. We'll keep those conversions flowing on in. Good evening from Quarantine Burgerland, says Uglu, our monster from Rune Factory. Jeez, even if I pay all my units, the cost is scary, man. Scary. Now I can regularly catch you live. Silver Linings, did I miss anything at the start of the stream? No, just me moaning about our poor position. Our position has always been poor, though. I don't think it's ever really not going to be poor. Alright, so this will root out the Tengris, and then I'll take care of the Protestants. Well, he's not allied the Ottomans. I thought he would have by now. But damn, he hates me and he wants all my land. That is savage. Why do you want such garbage land anyway? It's just not fair, man. I've got so much spy network on the Ottomans. I can tell when they're going to be going to war. I could also make claims on them, Main thing I do want to do next is attack him again and rip him asunder. I think I'd like to take back this land from him. Then again, you know, I'll just be taking this and leaving him with this. Then again, there's Pontic Steppe. We've joked about it before, but hey, there is Orthodox land here that I'd like to be mine. And Crim is no slouch as provinces go. Timmy was an ally, but we dropped him. He tried to drag us into a war against Delhi and the Ottomans. And I already saw how that was going to go. Ottomans piling into my lands and curb stomping me. And me getting nothing out of it. Instead, we dropped Timmy to get stuff out of an Ottoman war because we dragged in Commonwealth. But that doesn't mean it was without its own flaws, as plans go. Sometimes I think Aragon would be a good ally. They also don't like the Ottomans and would probably be friendly with me if I had good relations with them. And their only other ally is the Commonwealth. That drags them into a lot of wars in Iberia. Truce with Liège is up, that all-important truce. Military Tech 21 is very important. Hugely important. More important than getting these quality ideas. But do I want quality for anything else? It's got a great military zeal act. It's got an amazing diplomatic one. Diplorep and monthly war exhaustion minus lots. Alright, the rebels rise up. We knew they would. We were ready for them with Laser Kiwi, of course. You know, I think I was hoping to not have all these rebels at all because I wanted to have lots of unrest reduction. But we have discontent and disorder and overextension and war exhaustion. Once we get rid of all of those, I think a lot of these guys will fizzle away. And that means these cores need to be done. And I should probably bring you folks over here. And yeah, I really want to save some money. Game doesn't want me to, but boy is it hard to make dosh when this is what you got. Because we have areas over here. Okay, this is a bad example. It's somehow making lots of money. But the maintenance on the areas, on the states that I make here is pretty high. By flaws, you mean 100,000 auto-freak stack walking around your country, I guess. We now have a new institution, and we are not going to be getting that institution with any particular speed. That blows hard. And the cost of embracing it's going to be enormous, so I think I'm just going to drink up the fact that tech will be expensive for me for a while. So let's get that admin tech while we can. That one would be nice as well, because the extra states are always welcome. Alright, my beloved missionaries. I think I want to do gold again a bit cheaper. So let's get you done for like, what was that, 20 ducats or so. I'm not going to core them though, heavens no. Even though Mitau and Goldingen are good provinces. The Ottomans are going to attack Mamluks. We know this because we have a spy network up to the hilt with them. But there's not a whole lot I can do with that unless I wanted to significantly shorten my truce time with them. Significantly, it would take it from 10 to 5. And given the time and cost it would take, we'd only really get a couple of years slashed off. But this is good. If they go to war, that means they're not going to ally Timurids. Gives Timurids another chance to, I don't know, make other people mad. Not getting Malwa as a friend is a pain, but getting Sind would be better, so let's work on Sind first. Alright, I'm not going to intervene in your Mamluk war, you're just going to be polishing things off, really. So let's keep up with the conversions. It's nice to have religious unity. It's very nice. I wonder if I can actually do any metropolitans right now. Aha, there we go. Since we got these conversions done, I can actually consecrate over here because this land is Kazaki. Does up the maintenance a bit, but I think it's worth it to get that patriarch authority. I don't think there are many other places here that are really that eligible. You would be if that 3 development Siberian province were Kazaki, or better yet, 3 development Siberian province.